Good morning and welcome to Backyard and Beyond. And good morning to you, Melissa Stark.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And we do want to talk about this new workshop that's coming up that are going to offer better choices, better health. And this is a program I understand has been tried some other places and obviously successfully, or you wouldn't be doing it.
Right. We got trained through an organization called Southwest Senior Services, or Southwest 8. Mm-hmm. And we went to 4 days of training in Red Oak, and it's really exciting because it is a program that was developed by Stanford University.
Yes, and so I think that does just give real credibility to that program to know that it's been used and it's been very successful. What are some of the things you're going to cover in this program?
Well, we're going to be addressing chronic conditions. This can be arthritis, asthma, diabetes, heart disease, HIV/AIDS, lung disease, depression, anxiety, any type of long-term illness.
And you know, I don't know, Melissa, how I would handle something long-term. I just think that has to be, I always think if I'm sick, I'm going to get better. And some of these folks know that's not going to happen in terms of being absolutely solved. But it might be better in some other ways because of a workshop like this.
Yes, and even though there are different conditions, people have the same type of emotional things that they deal with. They can't do the things that they were once able to do. So a lot of different conditions really have the same type of things going on.
Yeah.
So it's not really disease specific.
Right, very good point. You're not going to talk about here's how to help your diabetes or here's how to help your arthritis. You might have sources though, right? If somebody really needs some help in those areas, that you would have resources that you could point out.
We have a workbook that we'll be using that is just really great, and it does talk about specific conditions. But we're going to be talking a lot about exercise, better nutrition. We're going to do action plans with people, and we're going to have a buddy system. So you'll be calling a person in the group during the week just to give them some encouragement and find out how they're doing.
And getting some support back. That's probably a really important part of this program is building that support system.
It is, because you see people that can kind of whine and complain about just medical conditions going on and everything they're going through, but this is just such a positive way for people to learn how to express themselves, because they're going to have an action plan. They're going to think of what are they going to do just this week that's going to help improve their health. It might be they're going to walk 3 days a week for 15 minutes, or they're going to put more fruits or vegetables in their diet. It could be something as simple. One lady was going to clean closets. I mean, she was getting physical exercise and feeling good about what she was doing.
Absolutely. So it's the not only the physical but the mental part of that, just feeling good about what's happening there. And I think when you're talking about whining and complaining, it's okay sometimes to whine and complain, and it's good to have a friend who will listen to that. But if that's all you do, it's just sort of a downward cycle.
Yeah, and you do have just better relationships when you're more positive. And also this program says that people have less visits to their doctor and shorter stays in the hospital because they're really taking responsibility for their own health.
Now that's really interesting, and as you say, you can look back at those results because you know that this program is very credible. This isn't something that somebody just says, "Oh well, this could happen." It has happened,
right?
So that's a great recommendation for the program. We may need to come back and talk about some of the what's being done in the program, but we need to talk about when and how people get involved.
They can call either Carla Akers or myself. I'm Melissa Stark, and we both work at the Home Care and Hospice office here by the hospital. And the number is 243-8006. And our first class is going to be starting Wednesday, October 13th. It will be held at the Home Care Hospice office, and it's going to be from 1 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. It runs for 6 weeks. It's just 2.5 hours each week.
Mm-hmm. What if you miss one?
that will be okay. If they make 4 of the sessions, we feel that they have completed the program.
Okay, because I know people's lives sometimes change. They make a plan and you want it to be a priority, but occasionally things happen that they can't attend 6 sessions. And one of the great things I think about having it where you're having it is there's lots of parking,
Yes,
easy entrance,
right.
so you can walk right in, and so it's a great place to have it. Now, is there a fee for this?
The fee is $25, but we do have scholarships available, so we wouldn't want to turn anyone away. If they
Okay.
have a need, we can provide the funds for that.
Okay, so you need to be getting signed up for this because, as you said, the first one is the 13th of October. That's going to be here before we know it. That's 9 days away. So get signed up. And about how many people would you like to have in the class?
We would really like to have 12 people.
Yeah.
We think that would be a nice group size, and even if people are in wheelchairs, we can make accommodations for that too. As you said, our office is very easily accessible.
You bet. So don't let anything stop you. And some people go, oh, I don't know if I want to get involved with this group, that kind of thing. But there's not going to be pressure, right?
No, you can participate in it as much as you want to. If you want to just sit back and listen, you can. And it doesn't have to be that you are experiencing a chronic condition yourself. Maybe you are a caretaker for somebody who is experiencing a chronic condition, and you'll receive a lot of insight and help that way too. And we're going to be talking about stress, pain, frustration of, just different things that you have to go through, and also how to have better communication with your health provider.
Good. Just lots of tips. And you mentioned this notebook, so you don't have to remember everything in your head. It'll be there for you to take home too.
Right.
Yeah.
And they will get a book at the class. Those are going to be available.
Okay. And so is this a notebook where they can, make notes, et cetera? It's their notebook, so they can make it their own as they go through class?
Yeah, we'll have a notebook with it, but we do have a main book that they might be reading a chapter that will go along with one of the classes.
Okay, so lots of different ways to participate. If you sign up for this, it's not, man, you've got to do just this. You're leaving a lot of leeway in here.
Right.
So I think that makes it a more friendly class.
Well, when we went to the training, it was just really a lot of fun because we got to know each other, and you kind of feel a camaraderie when there are other people experiencing the same thing.
Yes, yes. And I didn't ask you before, Melissa, and maybe you don't want to talk about this, but you have a chronic condition. You want to mention that? Because I
Right.
think that just gives more empathy to the whole program.
Well, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis when I was 16, and then I went to live in Arizona in a dry climate, but I'm back here, and I'm just doing really well. I've had both hips replaced, both knees replaced, ankles fused, neck surgery, all sorts of things. But I drive, I work. I think it's really having a positive attitude. And, of course, I have a lot of faith.
Well, what a great support that is. And I guess the other thing, Melissa, as you say, you do all of these things. I'm sure there are some kinds of changes you've had to make in your life just to accommodate sometimes very simple things, but you've learned how to do those.
Well, they like to have the facilitators experiencing a chronic condition or caring for someone, that's why Carla is involved too, because she's been involved with the care of someone with a chronic condition.
Okay.
And it just helps because we're not in there as medical people. It's not really medically focused at all, but focused on what an individual can do to help themselves.
Okay. That positive attitude, that smile, just makes all the difference in the world. I think when you're looking at somebody, you say, yeah, she's been through all that. Look at that. She's still smiling. That smile is so important. So, again, let's remind people how they can sign up and when this starts.
Please call our office at 243-8006, and we'll take anyone up to the day of when it happens.
Okay, but
So-
get your name in there. October 13th is the first day. And if you forget, like I do sometimes, to call the hospital, they'll either transfer you over there or they'll remind you what the number is.
Right.
Because, again, it is at the home care center. And we want to thank you very much, Melissa Stark, for coming in and sharing this program with us.
Thank you.
Till next time, I had a thought in front of me and it disappeared. But so until next time, just remember to sign up for Better Choices, Better Health.